Okay, make a digress small and talk about Resolution 1608 of 21st April 1961. I know say I don't talk about this before, but make some clarity. So, for this plenary meeting, the 994th plenary meeting, where this resolution will be adopted, they will get a challenge, and the challenge will be now for set the modalities for how the trusteeship agreement between the British and the United Nations it will be terminated. They will get one agenda as far as the trust territory of the former Cameroons under British administration it will be terminated. They will get one agenda as far as that trust territory is concerned, how to terminate the trusteeship agreement and grant this territory self-government or independence. So, at that time, the politicians then for the former British Southern Cameroons, John Good Foncha and Endele, they will fight amongst themselves. They no be get a consensus waiting for do. One, it be one for join Nigeria, the other one, it one for join Cameroon. So because of that infighting, they be actually request for the United Nations, say may they extend the trusteeship agreement so that they go terminate the trusteeship agreement later on. So because of the infighting between Endele Foncha, they be actually request the United Nations for extend the trusteeship agreement a little bit longer because they be want for continue under a colonial system because of their infighting. They don't make up their minds what way they want to do. Whereas the people then for the former British Northern Cameroons, they will be contented. They will be okay, ready to go to unite with Nigeria for form one country called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the United Nations will get that problem. In the end, they tell the people then for the former British Southern Cameroon say it not going to be possible for continue the trusteeship or the continue for maintain that territory as a trust territory while where the British Northern Cameroons join Nigeria. So now why that way? For that 994th plenary meeting, they will conclude and they decide on how the trusteeship agreement it will be terminated, and they set the dates for the termination of the trusteeship agreement, which was the 1st of October 1961 for the people then for the Southern Cameroons. They give them a little bit more time, whereas the people then for the Northern Cameroons, they could join Nigeria by the 1st of June 1961. They will do so because if they get to terminate, or if the former Northern Cameroons they get to join Nigeria, and then it wait a longer period of time before the people then for the Southern Cameroons they join La République du Cameroun, then it go necessitate for terminate the whole trusteeship agreement and then redraft another trusteeship agreement just for the people then for the former British Southern Cameroons. So now why that way they make the decision one time for that 994th plenary meeting, and they come out with resolution 1608 where it spell them out clearly how the trusteeship agreement it could be terminated. And so now the simple question Ibina say, by what mechanism was the trusteeship agreement terminated? How? Which document it therefore proof said the trusteeship agreement it don't be terminated? Simple, the exchange of notes. Because an international agreement exists where the United Nations is signed up with the British government for say the UK it will administer that territory as a trust territory. So, for terminate that international treaty, they will need for enter another agreement where they call them say an exchange of notes between the Cameroon government and the British government. President Amadou Ahidjo and the British ambassador for Yaoundé, where it will represent the British government, they will sign exchange of notes for transfer the sovereignty for that territory, the former British Southern Cameroons, from the British and hand them over to President Amadou Ahidjo. And that contract, it would take effect, or that termination, that transfer of sovereignty, it take effect from the 1st of October 1961. At the end of that exchange of notes, at the end of that termination of the trusteeship agreement, both the British and the Cameroon Republic, they submit the details, them, the exchange of notes and all of these details, them, to the United Nations Secretariat. They deposit them to the UN Secretary General office, and it therefore all man for see them. And no person on the international scene, not a single individual, it never ever challenge that reality. Say the trusteeship agreement, it was terminated, and the former British Southern Cameroons officially joined La République du Cameroun for form one country called the Federal Republic of Cameroon, where it get now one sovereignty. Once again, the reality now say, when Cameroon government, if it take Nigeria go for Bakassi Peninsula case for the International Court of Justice, the whole world adjudicate that case and it finalize some say it is so. The sovereignty of Bakassi Peninsula, where it is from Dian Division, when a part of the former British Southern Cameroons, it belong to Cameroon. Now President Paul Biya, it be signed on that document for that treaty with President Olusegun Obasanjo for Nigeria, where we will get the witnesses them. Now the Secretary General of the United Nations at that time, Kofi Annan, when a Ghanaian man, and also the British, the French, the Germans, and the United States of America, they be witness that international agreement between Cameroon and Nigeria for respect the borders right from Yola all the way down, actually right from Lake Chad all the way down to the Atlantic coast. That border, it be demarcated and it be set in stone, saying a sovereign territory of the Republic of Cameroon. That is an international reality, international fact, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like them, that one is your business. If you want to interpret them a different way, that one is your business. But wait till where the whole world they agree to, wait till where the whole world they recognize them. Now said that territory, it belong to one sovereignty, where it be held by the powers that be in Yaoundé. That is just a fact. That is just a reality. And I get the documents for proof them. From the trusteeship agreement itself to the German-British agreement in 1913 to the termination of the trusteeship agreement itself to the plebiscite result to resolution 1608 itself, all of these documents, them they spell them out. That territory, its sovereignty, it will be handed over to the Cameroon government. End of discussion.
So this one, nothing way, all una don't forget sense. So one time my country people and all the other surrogates say, so God bless you. We'll continue to listen to this video.
On the 1st of October, the date set by the United Nations for the British Southern Cameroon to achieve independence, what happened on that date was the British simply invited that foreign country to Ambazonia, and they, in their own words, transferred sovereignty to that foreign country.
Anything will be happen before the 1st of October 1961, it no really matter from the 1st of October 1961, what way you get for understand, by international law, and even me at the talk, this one now the United Nations at the talk, and I go bring in more information. What way matter by international law, now say that territory, it be recognized legally by the United Nations, by all the members of the Security Council, the permanent ones and all the other members of the United Nations. They recognize that territory as part of one and indivisible Cameroon. And they understand the wider implications. Say, if you go temper with anything to do with Resolution 1608, you go temper with separating Cameroon, then by that action, you don't already separate Nigeria. Because Resolution 1608, it get to do now with the former British Southern Cameroons and British Northern Cameroon, where it is an integral part of Nigeria today.